Have you ever felt like you and your partner are totally speaking different languages?
Oh, yeah.
It's like you're from different planets sometimes.
Absolutely.
Well, good news, everyone, because today we are diving deep into something that might just unlock a whole new level of understanding in your
All
relationships.
right, I like it.
It's all about masculine and feminine energy.
Okay.
And don't worry, we're not talking about those old school gender roles.
Right.
This is about those like fundamental energies that are within all of us.
I love that you said that because so often people get really caught up and they think, oh, masculine energy, that's men, and feminine energy, oh, that's women, and that's not what this is at all.
Exactly.
It's really about understanding the energies within yourself, first and foremost, and then how those energies interact in the context of a relationship.
Yes, and you know how we always talk about the dance in relationships? This is
Yes.
like the ultimate dance
I
floor.
love that.
So would you mind breaking it down for us a little
Yeah.
bit? What exactly are we talking about when we say masculine and feminine energy?
Sure. So masculine energy is often described as that yang energy,
Okay.
that doing energy, the energy that's focused on action logic, creating structure.
So like very driven, goal-oriented.
Absolutely. It's that go-getter energy. It's like that builder energy, the one that wants to create and build and achieve.
Okay, and feminine energy is more.
Feminine energy is more of that yin energy, that being energy.
Okay.
It's about going with the flow, intuition, nurturing, and being connected to emotions and feelings.
So it's that like receiving energy.
Exactly. It's about creating a sense of warmth and harmony. And it's less about the outward doing and more about cultivating that inner peace and stillness.
I like that.
Yeah.
So we all have both of these energies.
Yes.
Like, how does this actually play out in a relationship?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it?
It is.
Because, sometimes we think, oh, I need to find someone who's my opposite to complete me.
Right.
But it's not really about finding your opposite. It's about finding someone who can complement and balance you.
I see.
It's like you were saying that dance, right?
Yeah.
It's about being able to move together, to flow together. Sometimes you lead, sometimes you follow.
I like that. And it's not about like one person being always masculine and one person always being feminine.
Exactly. It's about both partners having access to both energies and being able to step into whichever one is needed in that moment.
So it's like fluidity.
Yes, fluidity, flexibility. It's about being adaptable to the situation.
So is it ever a problem? Like, can you have too much of one energy?
Oh, absolutely. And that's where things can get a little tricky because sometimes we get stuck in a certain energy, maybe because of societal expectations or past experiences, or maybe just our natural inclinations. And when one energy becomes too dominant, it can throw off the balance in the relationship.
Yeah, and I could see how that could lead to conflict because if one person is constantly in that masculine energy, like driving, pushing, achieving,
Yeah.
and the other person is always in that feminine energy feeling receiving,
Yes.
it can create this disconnect.
Absolutely. And you start to feel like you're not speaking the same language anymore.
So what can we do about that? Like, how do we find that balance, both within ourselves and in our relationships?
It all starts with self-awareness. Like, take some time to reflect on your own energy. Are you naturally more action-oriented or do you tend to go with the flow?
Yeah.
There's no right or wrong answer. It's just about understanding yourself.
Right.
And then once you have that understanding, you can start to see those same energies in your partner.
Okay.
And that's when the magic happens because you start to understand their needs and how to meet them.
Okay. So how do we do that in a practical sense?
Well, if your partner is someone who's very much in that masculine energy, they're all about action and getting things done, the best way to communicate with them is going to be direct, clear, and concise.
Okay.
Now, if your partner is someone who leans more towards the feminine energy, you're going to want to approach things with a lot more empathy and understanding.
Okay.
Make space for those deep conversations and really listen to what they're feeling.
So essentially, we're just trying to speak each other's energy language.
That's a great way to put it. And it's not always easy because sometimes our natural tendency is to communicate in the way that we want to be communicated with. But when you make that effort to step into your partner's energy, that's when that real connection happens.
That makes a lot of sense. So if our listeners want to start experimenting with this,
Yeah.
do you have any like practical exercises they could try?
I do. I have one for each energy. So if you tend towards the masculine energy and you're looking to tap into that feminine energy, I recommend a guided meditation focused on feeling your emotions in your body.
Oh, wow.
This will help you slow down and connect with those feelings and learn to receive.
Interesting. And what about for the feminine energy folks?
If you're someone who leans towards the feminine energy, a great exercise is to practice setting boundaries.
Okay.
Maybe there's someone in your life you have a really hard time saying no to,
Yeah.
so try setting a clear boundary with them.
Wow, that's a good one.
It's a really powerful way to step into that masculine energy of decisiveness and action.
I love those suggestions, and I think this is a really important reminder that this is a journey, not a destination.
Absolutely.
We're all constantly evolving and growing, and our relationships are always changing.
So true.
So it's about embracing that fluidity and being open to the dance.
I love that analogy of the dance because it really is about finding that rhythm together. Sometimes it's a waltz, sometimes it's a tango, sometimes it's a little bit of both.
And sometimes you step on each other's toes.
That's part of it.
That's part of the fun.
Exactly. You laugh it off and you keep dancing.
Well said. So as we wrap up today's deep dive, I have one final question for our listeners to ponder.
Right.
How can recognizing and honoring both the masculine and feminine energies within yourself, not just in your romantic relationships,
Good point.
but in all areas of your life,
I love that.
how can that lead to a more fulfilling and authentic life?
That's a great question to think about.
Until next time, keep diving deep.
Bye, everyone.